I believe in the United States Constitution. I swore an oath to defend it. I've seen people die in service of it, and I will always protect it. I believe in free enterprise. The American free enterprise system has created more wealth, more opportunity, has helped to lift more people out of poverty, to cure more disease, to inspire more invention and innovation, and has allowed more chances for more people to live healthier, happier lives than any other economic system in history. And we should defend it. We should celebrate those who are successful in it and lift up those who are still striving to make it. I believe that when government overregulates, overtaxes, overspends, overreaches, it hurts our businesses. It damages our hospitals. It injures the middle class and holds back those who are struggling to make it into the middle class. It makes life difficult for our teachers, and it threatens our freedom and our prosperity. I believe in results, and I believe in accountability. It's not enough to talk about solving problems. I believe that if you really care about people, then you have to care enough to get results. Thank you. And I believe that we should be able to ask of every agency of government and every line item in the budget a very simple question. What is your mission? What results did you produce for the money that you spent? I pledge to shrink government, to eliminate waste and fraud, and to act as a budget hawk who will look after your every tax dollar. I believe that every life is precious. I've worked in orphanages with children who were abandoned. I've worked with children who've been abused and those who've been disabled. I've worked with those who suffered from disease and who were cast off. I have also seen the amazing power of true love and compassion when I worked in a home for children of the street, or when I worked in one of Mother Teresa's homes for the destitute and dying. And I saw the power that comes when we make a commitment to treat every life with dignity. I am pro-life, and I very strongly believe that we must promote life, defend life, and that in a free society, no person should have their tax money taken from them and spent on organizations like Planned Parenthood that engage in activities that are quite simply barbaric. I believe in common sense. And I believe that laws should be written clearly enough that the average person can read and understand them. Corruption hides in the creases and crevices of complication. And I know that our career politicians cannot stand it when their practices are exposed to the light of day. And as governor, I commit to you that we will remove laws that are unwise, lift the burden of government, and that lawmakers will pass only laws that are clear enough for all of us to read and understand. I believe that today we have too many children who are trapped in too many failing schools, who have waited too long for too many failed politicians to do what is hard and right. I believe in education reform that will enable our poorest and most disadvantaged children, those in failing schools and those with special needs, to be able to choose the school that they and their parents most believe in. I also believe that the federal government cannot and should not run our schools. They cannot choose our textbooks, set our curriculum, and I believe that Common Core must be opposed while we set the highest possible standards for our students' character and their minds. I believe that our police officers and our firefighters do some of the hardest work in our state. And I believe that they deserve a leader who has their back. In Missouri, for too long, our police officers and firefighters have been subject to waffling politicians who are happy to pose for a photo op, but then disappear when things get tough. Our men and women deserve a leader who respects what it means to put on body armor and wear a sidearm, who respects what it means to leave your family and step into the dark to do dangerous work. And they must have the training, the equipment, and the support that they need to do their job. And though in some circles this has become very unpopular to say, I will always speak as I believe, and I tell you that the lives of our cops matter and the lives of our firefighters matter. And they deserve to be led not by lawyers, but by leaders. And I pledge to be strong for those who are always on call for us. I also believe that we should be able to be proud of Missouri. But our career politicians' failure and weakness has led the world to see us as a burning and blighted state. As governor, I will actively promote the good work in our churches and synagogues, our companies, our communities, our charities, that the good people of Missouri are doing every day. I also want to tell you that I believe in the First Amendment and the Second Amendment and the Third Amendment and the Fourth Amendment and all of the amendments, including the 10th, and that all of the people's liberties should be defended, including the right to bear arms and the right to speak your mind. I believe that a healthy disagreement can make for a strong society. And I refuse to accept the political correctness which says what our students and our teachers and our citizens can and cannot say. I believe that every person deserves to live a life of dignity and purpose and meaning. And that is why it is so important that we reform welfare and all of those other programs, state and where we can federal, that today serve not to lift people out of poverty, but to trap them in it. When I am governor, we will unleash the power of our workers, our business owners, and our entrepreneurs to build an economy that creates more private sector paychecks and bigger private sector paychecks. I've seen veterans come home, get a quality job, and it changes their life, the lives of their families, and it strengthens our communities. There is purpose and meaning and dignity in a job. And as governor, we will build a prosperous state rooted in the values of hard work and personal responsibility. I believe that we must ensure that every child has a fair shot at the American dream. Today in Missouri, there are too many children whose parents are mourning at graveyards who should instead be celebrating graduations. And I believe that our most vulnerable children, those in foster care, those who are survivors of abuse, those who battle against learning disabilities, and those who battle against a culture that is ready to write them off, I know that they will not vote, they will not donate, they may not even know that we are here today, but I pledge to you that every day I will be their champion. I believe that we should make Missouri the best state in the country for veterans. If you serve this country and you come home to Missouri, we want to welcome you home and we want you to build a life with us here. If you serve here in Missouri, we want you to stay here. And if you're from anywhere else in this country and you went overseas to defend this country, we want you to know, Patriot, that you are welcome home here in Missouri. I believe in citizen leaders. And I believe that politics should be an honorable calling in which proven leaders engage for a short period of time, rather than a permanent lifetime game in which those who, by their cowardice and self-interest, shrink from facing the hard problems all around us. And that is why, as governor, I will demand that we ban all gifts from lobbyists, close the revolving door between legislators and special interests, and demand term limits for every statewide office holder. Finally, I believe in ethics. And I believe that our leaders should do not only what is legal, but what is right and honorable. And that is why, as governor, I will pledge to you that not for a matter of months or of years, but that for the rest of my life, I will never engage in lobbying. And I will sign legislation to see that every statewide office holder must do the same.